So today's video is about unit rates. So let's start with what is a unit rate. Well, when you compare something to 1 unit, that would be a unit rate. So a unit rate is still a ratio, but it's a specific kind of ratio, and it's a ratio that's comparing something to 1 unit. So examples of some unit rates that you've probably seen in the real world. I'm sure you've gone to the grocery store and you see where they tell you that if you want to buy grapes, they're $1.98 per pound. So a unit rate would be $1.98, $1.98 for 1 pound of grapes. And that would be a unit rate because this is how much it costs for 1 pound. Another common place where you'll see a unit rate is the speed limit. So I know you've seen the signs with 65 mph, 55, 45. That's an example of a unit rate because it's telling you how many miles you can drive per hour or in 1 hour. So the speed limit here is 65 miles per hour. And because it's per 1 hour, that makes it a unit rate. Another place where you might see unit rates is on packages for food when you're looking at nutrition facts. And this may say that there's 150 calories in 1 cookie. So it will be 150 calories per cookie. So all of these are unit rates because they are a comparison. They're comparing 2 different things and they're comparing it to 1 unit of something. Sometimes you're going to be given the unit rate, and then sometimes you're going to actually have to calculate the unit rate. And it just depends on what the question is asking you. So in this example, you're going to pay $1.42 for a 16-ounce can of soup at the grocery store. So the question is, if you're paying $1.42 for 16 ounces, how much are you paying per ounce? How much are you paying for every ounce of soup in that can? So in order to find the unit rate, because the unit rate would be how much you're paying for just 1 ounce. So we want to know how much we're paying for 1 ounce so that we're going to have to divide the cost of the soup by the number of ounces. So we know that the soup is $1.42, and then we're going to divide that by the number of ounces that are in the can, which means that we're going to get this as our answer. But because this is an example about money, how much you're going to be paying, we've got to show this as dollars and cents. And we know that when we show money, we're only going to have 2 places after the decimal. So our answer is only going to go to the 100th place. So we are going to have to round. So after we round, we look here, the 8 is going to tell the other 8 to go up. So that means we're going to pay 9 cents per ounce. So for every ounce of soup in that can, we're paying 9 cents. So the unit rate is 9 cents per ounce. And remember, this is the unit rate because it's telling us how much we're paying for just 1 of something. So the next example, in 3 hours, you traveled 204 miles. If you continue this rate, how far will you have traveled after 5 hours? So they're telling us how far we've traveled in 3 hours, and we're going to now try to figure out how far we'll travel in 5 hours. In order for us to solve this, the first thing we've got to figure out, well, in those 3 hours, how far did we travel in just 1 hour? So this is an example where we're going to calculate the unit rate and use that unit rate to help us solve the rest of the problem. So our first step, start by finding the number of miles you traveled in just 1 hour. And again, that's the unit rate because it's the miles in just 1 hour. So to do that, we have to divide. We have to take the 204 miles and divide it by the 3 hours. And that means that we traveled 68 miles per hour. So we traveled 68 miles every hour. So now that we know how far we traveled in just 1 hour, we're going to use that value to figure out how far we traveled in 5 hours. So if we traveled 68 miles in just 1 hour, to figure out how far we traveled in 5 hours, we're going to do 68 times 5. And that means in 5 hours, if we continue driving at the same speed, we will have traveled 340 miles. Now, unit rates can also be used to help determine the best quantity to buy while shopping. So I know when you guys have gone to the grocery store, you'll notice that they'll offer you different sizes in the same product. So you may see a small box of cereal and then you may see a bigger box of the same cereal, and they'll have different prices. So then the question becomes, well, which box should I buy? Should I buy the smaller box at this price, or should I buy the bigger box? Well, that all comes back to the unit rate. If you want to know which is the better buy, you're going to actually look at, well, in each box, how much am I paying for every ounce or for every unit in that box or in that can or in that package? So in this example, Food Lion is selling 12 cans of soda for $3.99 and 24 cans of soda for $5.49. And I know you guys have all been to the store and seen that they have the 24 pack of soda and the 12 pack of soda. So then the question is, what should I buy? Should I do the 12 cans for $3.99 or the 24 cans for $5.49? Now initially you may think, well, the 12 cans are cheaper, so we should automatically go with that. That's the better buy. But just because something is cheaper doesn't make it the better buy. What makes it the better buy is if you're paying less money for each unit of that product. So in this example, what we want to do is figure out, well, if I'm paying $3.99 for 12 cans of soda, how much am I paying for every single can of soda in that pack? So in order for me to do that, I'm going to take the $3.99 and I'm going to divide it by the number of cans, the 12. And I see that I get this value here, 3,325 10,000s. But again, we're talking about money. So we want our answer to be in dollars and cents. So we're going to do some rounding again. And so we're going to look at the 2, and the 2 is going to tell the 3 to stay the same. So that means we're going to pay 33 cents for every can of soda in that pack. So in the 12 pack, we're paying 33 cents for each can. So then we want to look at the second option. So we can buy 24 cans for $5.49. Well, I'm going to take the $5.49, divide that by 24, and I see I get this number here. But again, we want our answer to be in dollars and cents. So we want to make sure that we do some rounding. So the 8 is going to tell the 2 to go up to a 3, which means we're going to pay 23 cents for every can of soda in option 2. So even though the 24 can of soda, the total price is more expensive, if we look at how much we're paying for every single can in that box, it's actually cheaper for us to pay for us to get option 2, because we're only paying 23 cents for every can, whereas in option 1 we're paying 33 cents for every can, which is 10 cents more for every single can of soda. So we would say that the better buy, that it's better for us to buy 24 cans of soda for $5.49. This is considered the better buy. So unit rates are a great way for us to see how much we're really getting for our money and what would be the better option. Do we need to buy in bulk, or do we just need to buy the smaller package? And you can always look at the unit rate to help you figure out which is the better buy. So keep in mind that a unit rate is a comparison to one unit of something, only one unit of something.